So really quickly on me, I am absolutely passionate about helping entrepreneurs and small businesses succeed and also assisting with some local ecosystem building. And I'm lucky enough to be able to do that just about every single day as an entrepreneur in residence with Catawba Valley Community College. And my goal for our conversation here today is to really energize your thinking a little bit by sharing some of my perspectives as a little bit of an outsider at this whole community college game into what has enabled some of our college's most entrepreneurial experiences. But I do not have a lot of time, so we're gonna jump right in with everyone's favorite, a little audience participation, right? It's Sunday morning, we gotta get the juices flowing. So I'm not going to make you show off your Taekwondo skills and break boards, although this is a ton of fun. I have actually done this. It's a great seminar. All I'm gonna do is ask you guys to answer the following 3 questions with me. And the first one is, what support resources do entrepreneurs need to succeed? So anyone? Don't be shy. Mentors. Money, yeah, absolutely. Good job. All right, we're getting warmer. Second question, I'll talk about that more in a second. Do we need more resources or better connectivity? So when I say resources, those who think it's resources, I want you to cheer. Those who say connectivity, I want you to cheer, okay? Ready? Resources. You're stealing my thunder. Okay, connectivity. Yay! All right, that was a close one, but I think connectivity took it. This is gonna be the same thing. Should community colleges be the main gateway for entrepreneurs to access and find these resources? Yeah, right, yes? Yes, all right. I will save the theatrics there. So, all right, so as you guys are settling down, I will share with you our answers to these same questions. And I'm gonna be brutally honest. So if you asked us these questions not a few years ago or just a few years ago, our answers to every single one of them would have been just about the same, which is that we're not exactly sure. We really don't know. But the good news is that we're a lot more clear in our understanding now, so I'm gonna tell you what I think they are today. As to the question of resources, we're gonna hedge this one a little bit and say both. Oh, I'm sorry, getting ahead of myself. So in terms of what resources are needed for entrepreneurs to be successful, the answer here is you gotta ask them. You've gotta ask them. They know way better than we do, and they will tell you if you let them. That, of course, requires that we create opportunities to have this regular and ongoing dialogue with our entrepreneurs. Now the question of resources versus connectivity. This is where we're hedging a little bit and saying both are really important, but if you forced us, we would take connectivity all day long, and I'll talk about that in just a second. And then finally, community college's role, absolutely. Absolutely, community college should be the front door, and we're the most logical choice, and we're best prepared to be able to deliver that connection between entrepreneurship and resources. And the good news is that a lot of us have the tools, most of us have some of the tools or all of the tools needed to do it already. So how did we get here? How did we go from really not sure to all those answers to having a really good understanding of what the support resources are, as well as the community college's role in getting it done? And if you indulge me for a second so I can advance my notes. So it all started with very daring leadership, as Monty just described. From our president, Dr. Garrett Henshaw, who, as Becky said, sends his regrets for not being able to be here today. I promise he would have delivered this presentation better than me. But he is exceptional in a lot of different ways. Some of those, as it relates to entrepreneurship and creating culture, is that he thinks boldly, he challenges the status quo regularly, he takes very smart risks, he isn't afraid to fail, but most importantly, he believes that the college can and should do more to advance entrepreneurship. So with the organization behind us and with that kind of support from the top, the culture started to shift. We all started to think differently. We started thinking entrepreneurially, which a bunch of educators in the room, not sure that's a word, but we're gonna go with it. We started thinking entrepreneurially, and so instead of seeing brick walls and barriers, we started seeing bullseyes and opportunities. The next thing that we did is we got some new tools to be able to accomplish different things. And it was really around our thinking. First thing is we created the environment to enable bold thinking, which is key. Second, and this is huge, we had to redefine the meaning of failure, which is not so small task to turn that failure frown upside down when you're talking to educators and institutions of higher learning, right? So we had to really rethink that. The culture had to shift. We had to fully commit to the mission of fostering entrepreneurship. And most importantly, we had to take some new risks. And we had to be prepared to fail, which is super scary. The one last thing we had to do, we had to leap. We had to take some pretty big leaps of faith, and that is always scary. But once we started doing it, we started to experience some really cool and novel things to support our local businesses and our local entrepreneurs like never before. And I'm going to share just a few of those with you. So the first thing we did is we went all in. We got in the investment game. And we partnered with the Kauffman Foundation and Innovation Fund America. We invested close to $600,000 in 13 North Carolina startups over a period of 2 years. And then, not being satisfied with that, we leveraged that experience with another great Kauffman program to provide one-on-one coaching and development to early-stage, high-growth potential founders. And we accomplished some really cool things there. We delivered over 3,000 hours of one-on-one coaching to 100-plus entrepreneurs, and we assisted in the fundraising efforts of over $3 million. That, just by doing that, put us in the middle of a market, and we uncovered some other meaningful problems that we could solve, like the talent gap. So we created Talent Jam, which is a super cool, hyper-local event. It's a connectivity platform that connects folks looking for talent with folks who have it via 1-minute quick pitch live presentations. So that has been going for a short while, and to date, 160 people have pitched in just a handful of Talent Jam events, and 500 plus very meaningful connections have been made. So what's next? So we've learned a lot from these 3 programs and others, very proud of what we've accomplished, but we're absolutely not stopping here. Our next initiative is our most ambitious yet, and it's called Start Hub North Carolina, and it's our answer to the problem of poor or limited connectivity, right? So everyone in the room agrees that connectivity is a big problem. And it's one of those spaghetti on the wall problems. We throw money at it, we create new resources, but we're not solving the connectivity problem. So we're going to attempt to do that. And the reason is that we believe that collectively there's really no shortage of resources. We in North Carolina are blessed with a lot of very good resources and more being created every day. What we're lacking is killer connectivity. So, and the reason we know that is because we talk to our entrepreneurs regularly, and they tell us that these resources just aren't easy enough to find and apply to their business at the speed of startup. And we think that the root cause of that problem is the way that most support resources are presented. So in partnership with our friends at NC Idea and leveraging our North Carolina Small Business Center network, we have created Start Hub as a statewide digital support resource platform, and our mission is to connect all of the dots in a way that makes sense to entrepreneurs. And one of the keys to Start Hub's success will be designing it from the entrepreneur's point of view and not ours, which is the last point that I'm going to share with you guys today. So our entrepreneurs told us that most support resources are presented from the provider's point of view and not theirs. So no wonder they are very hard to find and apply to their business, because when they're looking for resources in that little tiny window of time that they have, they see this instead of this, which is what the full picture of the support resource map looks like, and it's also from their point of view. So we're taking that as our marching orders to create Start Hub from the entrepreneur's point of view so that they can get the support resources that they so desperately need. That is my time. Thank you guys so much. It's been fun. My contact information is right here. Love to continue the conversation offline.